What is going on, Fit Fam? Welcome on back to my channel. My name is Megan Janice, the founder of Nomadic Fitness, and I teach you ladies how to eat way more food without any restrictions and work out smarter instead of harder so you can build that banging feminine hourglass body and keep it for life while feeling amazing with ease. So if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're coming on back, thanks so much for joining for another video. Okay, ladies, today we need to talk about something very, very important. This is something I hear a lot from women when they hear me talking about you need to eat more food because that is actually the thing that's going to make you build muscle, which is going to get you toned, it's going to give you a faster metabolism so you can stay this way easily all of the time. One of the most common things I hear in response to when I say eat more food is, but I just don't get hungry. Or, for example, they see what I eat in a day because I eat an insane amount of food. I'm literally constantly eating all day long. I pretty much always eat at least 5 or 6 times a day, and they'll see the amount of food that I eat and say, oh my God, there's no way I could possibly eat even close to that much. If I eat even just one small meal, I am super, super full. Okay, so if that is you, if that is the experience you're having, that is because you have conditioned your body to not get hungry. And the reason why is because you're eating so little food. It's one of these kind of self-fulfilling prophecies. You're not eating because you feel like you don't get hungry, but you don't get hungry because you're not eating. Now, this all comes back to the fact that our bodies are so adaptive. Our bodies are super smart. And so your hunger cues, just how hungry you're going to get, is going to be relative to what you have been giving your body and therefore what it has adapted to experiencing. So this is why when you do start to eat bit by bit more and more, you're actually going to start to get hungrier, and eventually it is going to be easy for you to eat a ton of food, well over 2,000 calories a day, because you're going to have adapted your body to that amount and you're going to get hungry for that amount as a result. But the opposite is also true, and this is what so many women are experiencing, is that they have gotten used to barely eating, maybe only eating like 1 or 2 meals a day, definitely a lot of the time less than 1,600 calories a day. So that's why they aren't getting hungry for more food, because their body is just used to the fact that that's all they're gonna get. So essentially your body kind of gives up asking for more food. The hunger cues slow down because your body doesn't understand the fact that you're not eating is just because you haven't really taken the time to do it. Your body thinks the reason you're not eating is because there's not enough food available, because otherwise it thinks you would be eating. So because of that, the body's job is always to keep you alive. That is its number one priority. So since the body thinks, okay, there's not enough food coming in, what it's going to do is it's going to try to keep you alive as best as it can with the limited resources that you're giving it in terms of calories from food. And it's going to do that by trying to slow down all of the bodily functions and stop burning as many calories, because there just isn't enough to actually use. So what that means is metabolism, which is by far the biggest consumer of your daily calories, is going to seriously slow down. So with that, that means you're just automatically burning way less calories, and also you're just going to feel way less energized. You're going to be sluggish, you're going to be tired, you're going to have a lot of brain fog, it's going to be very difficult to focus on anything, and you're just going to feel kind of like you don't really want to move that much throughout the day because you don't have enough energy to actually power you through that. So this is the thing, when you are under eating, your body is very, very stressed, and that is because even though you're not eating that much, you're still making your body go through an entire day in the life. So you're making it focus on things, have to pay a lot of attention to what you're doing, moving around, being out in the world, and you're demanding it to do all those things without actually giving it the fuel that it would need to properly support you through all of that. So even though you might not necessarily mentally feel stressed, you're going to experience that stress in other ways. Your body is trying to tell you via other means. And one of them is that you're probably just going to be in a really bad mood. You might be really anxious or even feel kind of depressed or just be kind of moody and negative emotions in general. Like I said, you're going to be super tired, sluggish, have bad brain fog, not really be able to focus on anything. And then another thing that can happen is you can be getting really bloated. So why might that be the case? Because like I said, when you're not eating enough, your body starts to slow down its bodily functions because it doesn't think that there's enough fuel to actually do those bodily functions properly. And digestion is one of the biggest functions of your body, and it costs your body quite a lot of calories to be able to process and break down the food that you do eat. So I have an example of this with one of my clients, Rebecca. This was her 2-month transformation working with me directly. And before she started working with me, she was always very bloated, as you can see, very sluggish, very tired, had no energy. And actually she was working out quite a lot, but she was barely eating because she was afraid to eat because of course she was a victim of diet culture, as so many of us are, and was unfortunately brainwashed by that messaging that food is bad and especially carbs are evil and that she should feel guilty about eating you should essentially try to eat as little as possible. So of course, she came into my world. I told her we're gonna do the exact opposite, because all of that is a massive lie designed to keep women disempowered and vulnerable, and that you're actually going to have to eat a lot to look and feel great. So even though she was very scared, didn't want to trust me, I got her eating over 2,000 calories a day, with the vast majority coming from carbs. And in just 2 months, here's the result. She lost the bloat. She never looked better or felt better. And she said it herself that she had like 10,000 times more energy than before, especially because she was eating all those carbs. And I also got her working out less than she had been before. She used to go to the gym for more like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then when she was working with me, she was only going for about 45 to 60 minutes, having way more fun, not trying to push herself as hard, but actually getting better results. All right, so if you can identify as one of these women who is not eating enough, whether you're doing it intentionally because you believe that you shouldn't be eating that much food because you've always heard that messaging and diet culture, which obviously is just absolutely everywhere, so I totally understand if that is the case, or perhaps you're just in the second category, which is also a lot of people, which is that you just don't really take the time, you don't take the effort to make sure that you're eating, so you end up just not eating. So no matter which of those two you're in, the question is, how do you get out of this mess? How do you actually start eating enough food so that you actually do get hungry, and then speed up your metabolism so that you can be a lean, toned, sexy, healthy, strong woman and stay this way all of the time very sustainably? Well, really the answer is pretty simple. You just need to force yourself to start eating more food. Literally, that's it. Because yes, right now you're gonna say, but I'm just not hungry. I don't get hungry to eat, therefore I don't. Okay, so we need to make your body adapted bit by bit to start getting hungrier, and you're gonna do that by proving to your body, hey, there is food, hey, I am eating, so start burning more calories, everything is safe, get those hunger cues back. So yeah, you might not always necessarily feel like eating, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't eat. You definitely should. And you will be shocked to see just how fast your hunger cues come back once you do actually start eating more. It can really start to happen even just within a week. I hear that a lot from clients. They come into the program barely eating. I force them to eat in a loving way, teach them all of this, and literally within a week, they're like, oh my God, I am so hungry already. So the good news is you can turn this around really fast, because the thing is, your body wants to be nourished. It wants to be fed. It's honestly begging you for that. You probably just aren't aware that that's what it's begging for. So as soon as it's gonna get it, it's gonna be so relieved. It's gonna stop being so stressed out, which probably means that you mentally are also gonna feel a lot less stressed. Okay, so a couple tips around how often to eat, when to eat, all of those good things. So number one, you should definitely eat within 30 to 60 minutes of waking up. Now I know that a lot of you are probably like, oh my gosh, I definitely don't do that. A lot of women are not eating until like afternoon or even until 2 o'clock. They get up, they have coffee, then they don't eat till like way later in the day. Yeah, this is not good. You're never gonna be able to build muscle, AKA get toned, if that's what you're doing. You're gonna be slowing down your metabolism, and you're gonna be imbalancing your hormones, and all of that adding up over decades can really lead to a lot of problems. So let's stop that right now and start changing it ASAP. So eating within 30 to 60 minutes of waking up tells your body that food is abundant, that you are safe, and that there is going to be fuel throughout the day to support everything that your body needs to do for you. So this is going to balance your blood sugar, it's going to make your hormones happy, and it's just gonna get that calorie burn from the metabolism going. So don't overthink this. You don't need to eat like a huge meal very first thing in the morning, but at least try to eat a little something. I always recommend at least 300 calories. So this can be something like yogurt with granola and fruit and peanut butter. It can be a bagel with butter and a banana, some eggs and toast, whatever. It doesn't need to be complicated. It can literally take 5 minutes, but just make sure you eat something. Get some fuel in your body to start your day off. Then as you go throughout the day, really, you should not be eating any fewer than 4 times a day. And honestly, even better if it can be 5 and potentially even 6 times a day, which is what I personally do. And that's also just because I'm eating so much. So you might need to work your way up to eating that frequently, but I would say at least 4 times a day. Because really 4 times a day, that's breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack, which can kind of be just like a mini 4th meal. So even better if it can be close to 5 times a day. So your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then 2 snacks, or just kind of 2 small meals. Now, the reason I don't recommend eating only like 2 meals and having a bigger portion at each of those meals is because in order to actually eat as much food as you need to be eating as a woman, which is really minimum 2,000 calories a day, but actually should still even be a couple hundred calories above that, it's going to be very hard to get enough food in each meal. Because think about it, 1,000 calorie meal, I mean, yeah, you can do it, but that's going to be an insane amount of food in one sitting. You're just going to be like super full, super bloated, and you're probably just going to have a really hard time forcing yourself to eat that much food. So this is why I think it is a lot better to just spread it out throughout the day. So that way, when you do go to eat, maybe it's only going to be like 500, 600 calories instead of 1,000 calories in one sitting. Okay, and then of course you want to make sure that these are balanced meals. So the way that a meal should look is always going to be a source of protein, a source of starchy carbohydrates, your fiber, fiber, so that's your fruits or veggies, which are also technically carbs, but they aren't starchy carbs, they're fibrous carbs. And then a little bit of healthy fats. So that can be something like chicken, rice, and veggies cooked in olive oil, and you can add in, like soy sauce or some sort of marinade to make it taste good. It can be pasta, so that's gonna be your noodles with some beef, maybe with some cheese, and then adding in whatever veggies you want and a tomato sauce. Don't overthink it, keep it simple. Honestly, the vast majority of meals I eat are somewhere between like 3 to 5 ingredients. It doesn't need to be anything complicated. Just get that food in your body. That's the most important thing. Okay, so another thing you're going to want to do to help bring up your calorie intake, to help get your body burning more calories all the time so that it's gonna be easier to lose fat, easier to build muscle, and just stay this way 24/7 while feeling really, really good, is also going to be reverse dieting. So reverse diet, literally meaning the reverse of dieting. Dieting is where you consistently eat less and less and less, which, should be done only when you're doing it in a very strategic way. This is not something you should be doing all of the time. So a reverse diet is where you gradually increase your food bit by bit, and the reason you do that is because your body's gonna adapt and it's gonna start burning more calories 24/7 on autopilot. So this is something for you to definitely implement if right now you are barely eating. You're gonna find out, okay, what is the amount of food you are usually eating right now, get consistent with that intake, and then slowly but surely start increasing bit by bit, week to week. Even if it's only about 50 to 100 calories, it doesn't need to be anything crazy. And then that way it's going to still be a little bit of a bump up, that your metabolism is adapting, you start burning more calories, but you're not just gaining a bunch of excess body fat by being in a huge surplus. So I recently made a whole video about how to reverse diet, why you want to do it, why it is so powerful and life transforming. So go ahead and watch it here, and I'll also link it in the description box so you can learn how to gradually increase your food intake so that your metabolism is going to be faster to stay lean, toned, healthy, strong all the time for life. Okay, then the second really big thing to implement into all of this to start getting hungrier so that you start burning more calories automatically all of the time is going to be adding in strength training or weightlifting, literally training to get strong. And the best way to be getting stronger is to be increasing the resistance that you're putting on your muscles. The best way to increase the resistance on your muscles is increasing the source of weight on the muscles. So this is why working out at home with just teeny tiny dumbbells or even body weight, it's better than nothing if you're a complete beginner, but you're gonna really quickly max that out, and then you're not really gonna be getting much stronger. So that is why making sure that you have access to good quality equipment, aka going to an actual gym, so you have all of the resources, you have all of the weights, you can continually lift more and more. Or if there's just no way you can go to a gym, at least making sure that you're gonna get some challenging weights to use from home. So this doesn't mean just 10-pound dumbbells. I always recommend, if you have to work out from home, that you're gonna get adjustable dumbbells that go up to 50 pounds each in weight, meaning you have 100 pounds of dumbbells to be using from home. And even better, if you can also get a barbell with some plates, so you can do your things like deadlifts, hip thrusts, bench press, the stuff that gets you super strong and building a bunch of muscle. Okay, so an amazing thing that strength training does for the body is it makes you get so hungry. I am telling you, girl, if you are not strength training right now and you start adding it in even a little bit, you're gonna notice that your hunger absolutely skyrockets. And again, this is something I see with clients all the time. They come into the program literally within 1 week of eating a little bit more food, being consistent with that intake, and adding in some simple strength training workouts. They're just like absolutely ravenous. And it's for that reason that we're able to increase their intake so fast, get them well over 2,000 calories a day, and get them leaner and more toned because of that, because their metabolism is just burning through all the calories. That helps them lose more fat, and of course it gives them the fuel they need to actually build the muscle, and it's the muscle that makes you look toned and stay that way. Now, even if you do any kind of exercise in general, you're gonna notice that you get hungrier, but there's really something particularly magical about strength training. And a great thing too is that it's not necessarily that difficult. In fact, it's a lot easier than probably all the cardio and all of the group classes and follow along HIIT circuits that you're used to doing. It's definitely a lot easier than that. It's also a lot more fun because you don't have to be absolutely killing yourself in the workout and dripping in sweat, panting for breath on the ground. And there's a lot of variety. There's so many different things you can do with all the different types of equipment in the gym. So you really get to have a lot of fun playing around. But the reason that strength training in particular will really bring up your hunger levels is because the whole point of strength training is to put a stimulus on your muscles, aka increasing the resistance that is on the muscle. So more weight, more reps over time, forcing your body to get stronger. And because you are really giving your body that stimulus, that's signaling to your body, okay, we need to create new muscle tissue. We need to grow. And so what that does is it's going to make you hungry because your body's going to be saying, okay, hey, you put the stimulus on the muscles, you're asking for us to grow this new muscle tissue, so we're going to need some fuel to do that with. So that is why your body is going to be begging you to feed it. You're going gonna be getting super hungry so it can actually create that muscle tissue. In addition to this, we store energy inside of our muscles, particularly from carbohydrates, called glycogen. So when you're going in the gym and you're putting that stimulus on the muscle, it's getting the signal that it has to pull the energy out of the muscle, the glycogen that has been stored there, to power you through that workout. So now you've used the energy source that was stored, so after working out, you're gonna be super hungry. Your body's gonna be begging you for carbs because you just used up the supply that it had. So now there needs to be more that's gonna be stored inside the muscles once again. And then bit by bit, as you're creating new muscle tissue, muscle costs your body a lot more calories than it does to have body fat. So this means that you're automatically burning way more calories 24/7 all the time, which is how you end up making your metabolism much faster without having to do anything extra. So now you have that muscle, so now your body is begging you for more food all the time. You need to continue to eat more and more and more to even be able to maintain the muscle that you have now built. All right, fam? So it's really that simple. If you are not hungry right now, it is because you have conditioned your body to not be hungry. And if eating a lot of food seems impossible, there's no way you could do it, trust me, you can. You just need to work at it bit by bit, and you will be surprised just how fast you're able to turn this around. So start forcing yourself to eat, even if you're not hungry. Make sure you're eating 4, 5, even 6 meals a day, balanced meals with all your macros, and then slowly but surely increase your intake over time through a reverse diet so that you're gonna gradually burn more and more calories. And then of course, also add in strength training. You only need to go about 3, 4, 5 days a week, absolute max, for 45 to 60 minutes per session, and do about 5 to 6 exercises per workout. And I have links in the description. If you have no idea how to put together a weightlifting program, you can download my free follow along workout guide, or of course, I have tons of videos here on YouTube that walk you through how to do weightlifting workouts. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Now, next, I want you to go watch this one, which is one of my most recent ones that I talked about in this video, that teaches you all about reverse dieting. So it'll teach you how much you need to eat, why you need to eat that much, and how to continue to increase your intake so that you're gonna become a 24/7 lean, toned, calorie burning machine for life. I'll see you in that video.